You may have noticed that when we talk about generations, the conversation usually skips right over one specific group. We dissect baby boomers, we analyze millennials, and we study Gen Z like it's a completely new species. But in the middle, there's an entire generation that almost seems invisible. Generation X, born roughly between 1965 and 1980, is often misunderstood as being cynical, detached, or even the forgotten generation. But what if that detachment is actually a rare form of emotional armor, and that invisibility is actually a masterclass in self-reliance? Today, we are looking at the psychology of Gen X to understand how being raised in an analog world with digital expectations turned them into the most resilient bridge in human history. The first thing to understand is the Latchkey legacy. If you are Gen X, you likely remember coming home to an empty house at age 8, making your own snack, and solving your own problems without a smartphone or a camera to check on you. A study published in the American Journal of Orthopsychiatry found that by 1984, approximately 7 million children were regularly unsupervised after school. Psychology shows that this created a high contingency environment, where your brain learned to predict consequences in real time because there was no buffer between your actions and the results. While others might see this as a lonely childhood, it actually built a muscle for independence that younger generations struggle to replicate. You don't wait for permission or a tutorial, you just figure it out, because that's what your nervous system was trained to do. This generation is often labeled as cynical, but research suggests it is more accurate to call it defensive pessimism. You grew up watching the rules change right in front of you, high divorce rates in the 70s and 80s, and the realization that company loyalty didn't always mean job security. Research indicates that this shaped a worldview where you expect the rug to be pulled out from under you, so you built emotional armor to stay steady when it happens. This isn't about being negative, it's about being grounded. While others might be crushed by a sudden change, your muscle memory for adversity allows you to stay calm because you've already run the scenario and prepared for the worst. There is also a very specific reason why Gen X is the quietest generation on social media. You grew up in the last era of true privacy, where your mistakes as a teenager didn't live forever on a server. They just became awkward memories. Psychologically, this created a belief that the less people know about you, the safer you are. While modern culture pushes us to perform our lives for an audience, Gen X values existence over performance. This is a profound strength because it means your self-worth isn't tied to likes or comments. You know that your life is valuable even if no one sees the photos of your breakfast. Cognitive psychologists describe a phenomenon called deeper encoding, and Gen X is a prime example of it. Before the internet, information had a physical cost. It required spending hours in a library or hunting through card catalogs. Because information took effort to obtain, it became more permanently integrated into your memory. This also extended to the physical world, flipping your bike upside down to fix a slipped chain rather than calling a technician. This built a mechanical intuition, a belief that with enough patience and a screwdriver, you can master your environment. You are the person who knows how to fix everything because you were forced to learn when no one else was there to do it for you. Finally, Gen X serves as the bridge generation. You are the only people who truly understand what it means to be alone with your thoughts and how to solve problems without Google. Yet you are also the people who built the internet and adapted to the digital world. Research on brain development suggests that because many Gen Xers and Zennials were still in a window of high plasticity when the digital overhaul happened, they became bilingual in analog and digital realities. You can have a face-to-face conversation without checking your phone every 30 seconds, but you aren't intimidated by new software. This gives you a rare perspective. You know what was gained by technology, but you also remember exactly what was lost. If you ever feel invisible or like the world has moved on to louder generations, remember that bridges don't get much attention, but they are the only things holding the two sides together. Your self-reliance isn't a lack of need for others, it's a testament to your capability. Your privacy isn't secrecy, it's self-respect. You were the kids who found their way home before dark without a GPS, and that same inner compass is what makes you the steadiest people in the room today. If this gave you a new perspective on your own history or the Gen Xers in your life, please hit the subscribe button for more deep dives into the personality traits that make us who we are. Understanding your patterns is the first step toward valuing your unique strengths. I'll see you in the next one.